and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to our sports show. I'm your host, Robert. As we continue down the road to WrestleMania, one of the premier titles in WWE history, not only WrestleMania history, was the Intercontinental title. It was known as the Workhorse title. At one time, the who's who of Hall of Famers held this title. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, The Rock. This was the build-up guy, Razor Ramon, Chris Jericho, 9-time champion, Christian, Edge. This was the title, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This was the title that made you from a upstart wrestler to a main event level kind of guy. These are the 10 best at WrestleMania. We go back to WrestleMania 3 for one of the best matches in WrestleMania history that's on this list. We're going to start, number 10 on the list, starts at WrestleMania 5. 2017 Hall of Famer Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior, one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time, going into WrestleMania 5 and losing to the ravishing Rick Rude. Number 9 on the list comes from WrestleMania 11. We had Jeff Jarrett, an Intercontinental champion, versus Razor Ramon. And when WrestleMania 11 was done with the Intercontinental title match, we had new champion Razor Ramon, WWE Hall of Famer. Number 8 on the list comes from WrestleMania 16. It was on the past video. That was the European title, US title, and Cruiserweight title. This was that two-fall Intercontinental title versus European title. The first fall was for the European title. The second fall was for the Intercontinental title. We had Chris Jericho versus double champion Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. First fall, Chris Benoit won the European title. In the second fall, Chris Jericho won the Intercontinental title. Number 7 on this list comes from WrestleMania 9. Tatanka versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn lost the match to Tatanka, but he retained his title because he lost by countout. Seeing WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace, it's just unbelievable to think back that far in WrestleMania history and where WrestleMania has come, from where it started to where it came. To the likes of the Shawn Michaels, the Bret Harts, the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Hogan, Savage, on down to the Attitude Era, Stone Cold, The Rock, Edge, Christian, those guys, Owen Hart, and just into today's kind of guys. It's just amazing the transformation that WrestleMania has made. And it wasn't just like boom, boom. It was just, if you rewatch all of which I have, it's just like little subtle changes here and there. Each year it changes a little bit here, a little bit there, to the magical show that we have today. Number 6 on the list came from WrestleMania 8. We had Bret the Hitman Hart versus Roddy Piper. Piper winning the title at Royal Rumble from the Mountie, who won it 2 days before that at a house show. Holding the title all the way to WrestleMania 8. Bret Hart winning his first Intercontinental Championship here. Obviously, we all know what Bret Hart had done after winning the Intercontinental title. Number 6 on this list, WrestleMania 6, title versus title. Intercontinental Champion versus WWF World Heavyweight Champion. The Ultimate Warrior, Intercontinental Champion versus Hulk Hogan, WWF World Champion. First time in WrestleMania history, we had title versus title. First time in WWF history, I believe, we had new WWF Champion and Intercontinental Champion, the Ultimate Warrior. Number 4 on this list came from, last year, matter of facty. Intercontinental title match last year. WrestleMania 32. 7-way ladder match. We had Zack Ryder. We had champion Kevin Owens. What more do you say about Kevin Owens? Versus Sami Zayn. Versus Dolph Ziggler. Versus Stardust. Versus The Miz. Versus Sin Cara. A phenomenal 7-way ladder match. almost as good as the one the year before. So, hopefully at WrestleMania 33, they'll make a 7-way ladder match for the Intercontinental title. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but that would have been great 3 years in a row. Zack Ryder becoming U.S. champion, or Intercontinental champion. Woo, woo, woo. But losing it on Raw the night after to The Miz? Are you fucking serious? Why? Give Kevin Owens to retain his title. Get Sami Zayn to win it. I mean, fuck. Whatever. Number 3 on the list comes from WrestleMania 31. Ironically enough, the year before. Ironically enough, a 7-way ladder match for the Intercontinental Champion. We had Championship. We had, hey, how about this? We had Stardust. We had Dolph Ziggler. We had R-Truth, Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, Bad News Barrett, and Daniel Bryan. Bad News Barrett, Intercontinental Champion coming in. And Daniel Bryan, Intercontinental Champion, winning the title, Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 31. Year before, winning the world title at WrestleMania 30. Unfortunately, due to injury, happened to relinquish the world title the year before. Unfortunately, as the next month happened what was that? 2015? After winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 31, unfortunately, as we all know now, Daniel Bryan happened to relinquish the Intercontinental title due to injury, concussions, and has not wrestled since. General Manager of SmackDown Live, itching to get back in the ring, one of the greatest performers of all time. Will be a Hall of Famer someday. Number 2 on the list, the second greatest Intercontinental match in the history of WrestleMania. We are going all the way back to WrestleMania 3. To some people, this is the greatest match in wrestling history. It was good. The second greatest Intercontinental match in WrestleMania history. Macho Man Randy Savage, Intercontinental Champion, versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't the greatest match in the history of wrestling, but it was good. Very entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot. I think Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, his style of wrestling doesn't... If you look at the styles of wrestling from then and now, most of the styles are different. Change. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, his style of wrestling transcends decades. Watching WrestleMania 3, watching what Ricky the Dragon Steamboat can do in that ring versus Randy the Macho Man Savage, he would fit in the 2016 WrestleMania 32 Intercontinental title ladder match. His style would have fit those guys perfectly. He would have fit the Jerichos of the world, the Kurt Angles of the world. We actually seen Steamboat and Jericho. WrestleMania 25, we had 3-on-1 handicap match. We had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ric Flair, and Snuka, Steamboat, and Piper with Flair in their corner versus Chris Jericho. Extreme Rules, Payback, whatever the next pay-per-view was that year. We seen a 1-on-1 match, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Chris Jericho, and it was great. So Steamboat could go, 30 years later, Steamboat could go. Steamboat was the kind of guy who was just there too early for his style. The number 1, the greatest Intercontinental title match in the history of WrestleMania, comes from WrestleMania 10. The first ever ladder match at WrestleMania. We had Intercontinental Champion Razor Ramon versus Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels. Both of them claiming fame to the Intercontinental title. This was for the undisputed Intercontinental Championship match. And a ladder match. And the undisputed Intercontinental Champion after WrestleMania 10 was Hall of Famer Razor Ramon. What a match this was with the ladder and everything. It just sparked a whole different era for WrestleMania. So, that will wrap up the best Intercontinental title matches in WWE history. Stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the best WWF, WWE world title, the main world title, the current world title that Bray Wyatt holds, the lineage of that title. known as WWF title, World title, WWE title, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the lineage of that title, the 10 greatest matches in that title's history at WrestleMania. Stay tuned for that, as always. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great night. Have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.